are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo, YouTube, what up? Welcome back to Channel Adrian TV, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before we get into today's video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the videos. Also, follow me on Rumble where I post there as well. And follow my other YouTube channels, the Room 1031 channel and the Room 1031's Clips channel. Now, before we get started in today's topic, y'all remember, for the men and women who are smart with money, please invest in cat food and dog food. And also, do not buy the bag of goods that society, culture, and your mom and dad try to sell you, because a lot of that is what, y'all? That's right, trash. Now, on this video, I wanted to do a real quick video and a topic that I think a lot of men need to discuss and understand. And on this video, I wanted to discuss why I don't think men should hang out with passive aggressive men, and why I personally cut off men that are passive aggressive or don't even hang out with them. Let me give you a few reasons why. Now, number one, men are supposed to communicate direct. In other words, men should have the emotional toughness and maturity to handle an issue that they're having with a friend. Now, I know some of y'all may be saying, well, what happens if you don't know the person? I get it, but at the end of the day, of being a man, I think all men can understand and honestly would agree that being honest with each other, we can handle that type of honesty without being emotional about it. Now, I know some of y'all are going to say, well, what are you trying to say? Men need to hold in their feelings and sometimes they need to cry. If that's what you need to do or whatever, I get that. But I'm just speaking in generality. In general terms, most men can communicate directly to other men because they have emotional toughness, so they can handle it. And then if I find out a man is talking behind my back or a friend behind my back, that's a little bit more passive aggressive, because you could come up to me and speak to me directly and tell me your issue. And honestly, to me, I think that's more of a feminine trait. That's why you normally see women do it, because women feel uncomfortable about telling other women or other people the truth. So they try to do it passive aggressively through other people. And to me, as a man, that wouldn't sit right with me, to be honest with you. And then number two, to me, it proves that they're either intimidated or have a weak mindset. Now, let me explain. When we're speaking to men, we all know there can be the element of danger if you say something too disrespectful to where there may be a fight. So we all understand that. So we get our point across without being disrespectful. And if you can't do that to another man, or especially your friend, I'm going to think that you're soft and weak. And I did a video, I want to say a few months back, like 3 or 5 months back, and I'll make sure to pull up the video about why men should not hang around weak-minded men. I'll make sure to put the link in the description. I wholeheartedly agree with that, because at some point that as a man, you're going to be affected by that. And that's another way it shows me that if a man is passive aggressive, he is very weak. And especially the men who are in marriages, if they have to be passive aggressive with their wife, I already know what that means. And if you're wondering what that means, is he can't be honest because he could lose, he doesn't want to lose a wife, or he doesn't want to lose half and pay alimony. You know, that whole thing. And number three, a reason why I don't hang out or associate with passive aggressive men, it could be jealousy. I'll give you a perfect example. At one job, y'all know I work out. So at one job, this one man was telling people, oh, he's insecure because he works out. I confronted him on it. I was like, you said I'm insecure because I'm working out? And he was like, no, man, it wasn't like that. What I was trying to say is, low key, he was hating on a low. He didn't know it would get back to me. But we all know it's always going to get back to you, because people talk. You know what? Before I even dive deep even more into that, let me say what the definition of insecurity is, because a lot of people use this word, but it's out of context a lot of times. Insecurity, uncertainty or anxiety about oneself or lack confidence. And when I was talking to that person, I'm like, I don't lack confidence. If anything, when I work out, as y'all can tell, it gives me more confidence. So in other words, he was hating on a low. It was jealousy because since he was obese and had titties, he tried to do it the passive aggressive route. And you see why I said that's mostly tied to women? Because women mostly take other women down that way. But when a man does it, that's why men are, it's more looked down upon against with other men and also looked as feminine because it comes off as weak. And then number four, when you find out a man is being passive aggressive with you, it you can't trust him, just like that situation at work. Like I've had a lot of men who were very passive aggressive towards me at a lot of jobs, and then when I confront them on it and I found out that they try to lie about it or brush it off, or even friends from the past, I'm like, okay, from that moment on I can't trust you, because as a man you can't come up to me and be honest. Now, I could go on, but those are just a few points of why I don't associate with passive aggressive men, and why if I consider that man a friend and I find out he's passive aggressive, that's why I cut him off. Now, you don't have to each his own, but with those reasons I gave, that does not help you. If in other words, people in my life or men in my life or male friends in my life, those friends should help you become better. Out of all those things I said, they don't help you. If anything, it hurts you or bring you down more. But that's my position on men that are passive aggressive and why you should not associate or hang with men that are passive aggressive. Now, I know if you're watching this, a lot of you may say, well, there's a lot of men that passive aggressive. Oh, believe me, I know. Like you'll have men being passive aggressive to pass messages to parents, to co-workers, bosses, friends, boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever. And I know it's spreading, but with the influx of men that are posting on social media, in other words, trying to embrace more masculinity, I think this video is needed. And plus, it kind of sends out, uh, how can I put this? It sends out a message to other men who agree on this statement. Now, I know some of you may say, well, Adrian, you should, just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you need to cut them off. I agree. That's why I'm using the term passive aggressive. Because you could talk to someone and disagree, but if you do it passive aggressively towards me, I can't respect that. And honestly, I don't know a lot of men that would actually respect that. And then a lot of y'all dads are passive aggressive. Believe me, I worked with them. I've worked with men who are in their 40s and 50s and so on. And the fact that they're so passive aggressive and weak, you know what? I'm not even going to get on to that because I could go on for hours. But y'all let me know what you think about men who are passive aggressive. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video.